And welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you all for tuning into the show today. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about two concepts that are very related together. One is gaslighting, and the other one which has become a pretty common term, especially when you're talking about people that are narcissistic. But the one that goes along with it is a concept called cognitive dissonance. And so I'm going to talk about both concepts and kind of break them down because you can't have one without the other. Okay, so my book, The Dysfunctional Dance of the Empath and Narcissist, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to read this and read a couple of other things to you. So gaslighting is a form of emotional manipulation where the narcissist questions your memory of an event or causes you to question your own. They may pretend to forget promises or deny something that happened, including situations or conversations. They may secretly hide or rearrange your belongings, adding to your mental confusion. All these things can cause you to second guess yourself, your memory, or your sanity. So that's from my book. But there are, I want to share this because this is actually even more in depth. And this is from verywellhealth.com. And they say that gaslighting is a manipulative, emotional, and psychological abuse that causes a person to question their reality, memory, instincts. So I'm sorry about that. Raylan, come here. And ultimately their sanity. Okay, hang on one second, everybody. With that, stay in here. Stay in here. Okay, I'm back. A person gaslights to obtain power and control, which are classic elements of abuse. Gaslighting often occurs in an intimate partner relationship. But here are some examples. One thing, a person that gaslights, they lie. They lie. They deny. I didn't do that. I would never say that. What text on my phone? You know, part of it also is they'll discredit you. They'll tell you that you're crazy. No one will believe you. Well, they said they didn't like you. They might trivialize what you're going through. They might tell you, well, you shouldn't feel that way, or you're being dramatic or overreactive. You know, or make comments like, where'd you get that crazy idea? You know, or they might shift the blame and intimate that it's all your fault. And if you didn't mess up, I wouldn't be upset. Or look what you made me do. When the reality is, it's all them. It's all their crap. So that's gaslighting. Cognitive dissonance is, okay, so a person, the narcissist, whoever, is the person that gaslights. And when we receive this information, this gaslit information, we can go into cognitive dissonance. Okay, so they dish it out and this is how we respond. And so simply put, cognitive dissonance is having two very different thoughts or beliefs about something at the same time. And again, it's very common in abusive relationships. So for an example, in a relationship, and this can happen in other places, you sit there and you wonder, is this wonderful, charismatic, and loving person your partner? Or is the abusive, emotionally unavailable, and cold person who they really are? Or is the truth what we discussed in detail over the last few days? Or the denial of the conversation, the promises and agreements that we made true? You know, you're left with this pattern of not really being able to sort out what's going on and what the truth of the matter is, leaving you feeling really uncomfortable and not knowing what's going on. And so there's part of your brain that's going, oh, they're a great person. And then you're in the middle of this toxic situation with them. And you're like, do they even like me? I mean, Skip loved me, but like me. You know, and one other one that is not part of gaslighting. Well, it is a gaslighting technique that I wanted to throw in there, but it's also the concept of future faking that I did not bring up in the gaslighting part. It's where someone will sit there and say, oh, well, you know, I'm going to do this. You know, I'm going to buy you this bracelet, or I'm going to mow the lawn, or, you know, oh, I really love you and things are going to be better. But really, it's just a freaking lie. You know, and so they make it sound like in the future, things are going to be better or things are going to be different. You know, in the next 4 years, you know, I'm going to cure cancer. It's like, and then they don't, you know, so is it a lie? You know, is it wishful thinking? I don't know, but it's considered future faking. And so the reason I'm bringing this up, okay, I'm staying on time. So the reason I'm bringing this up is I wanted to talk about the riots that have been going on. Well, actually, a couple of things that came up in the news this week. And you know me, I don't normally talk about politics, but I do talk about narcissistic relationships and the narcissistic dynamics that go on. And so there are the riots going on this week, and I don't have a commentary one way or the other about the riots. It's my commentary is about the news reporting. And so for some reason, which made me almost pass out, they were sitting there talking about, oh, well, we think there are outside actors involved and that some of these people are getting paid for, you know, doing this stuff. And they're not actually, you know, Columbia students or students of these schools, that they're, you know, extremists coming in, trying to rile things up and get things in motion, which I thought was kind of shocking, because when we had the whole BLM and Antifa thing in 2020, right before the election, they were so freaking gaslighting everybody. It's like, oh, it's a mostly peaceful protest. And behind the reporter, the building is freaking on fire, you know, or there are these people looting and doing all of this stuff, but it's mostly peaceful. Now, what does that do to your brain? Your brain goes, okay, that building's on fire. So how is that peaceful? But what's coming out of his mouth is that it's peaceful. And so what they were doing was gaslighting you. And if you experience discomfort because of what they were saying and were doubting what they were saying, you were probably experiencing some cognitive dissonance. Now, it is my hope in relationship to the riots that they apply these new insights, that there are these outside actors that are funding and financing these activities, to some of the other riots that have happened over the last several years, and maybe there'd be more justice that will be had. But another one that came to the surface this week, which is again why I'm bringing it up, because, you know, I don't know if the veil is lowering and the lies being exposed. You know, I'm not real sure. It's just literally been this past week that I've caught two. So the riots, that there were outside actors, but then AstraZeneca, one of the vaccine manufacturers, admitted that their vaccine has caused blood clots. I mean, only 2 or 3, not that many, but has caused blood clots, where up until, this week, they were safe and effective. And I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. So, so as you're sitting there and you're watching the news or listening to things that are going on around you or interacting with people, we talk about being mindful. We talk about paying attention to what's going on in our body. So if someone is sitting there telling you something and everything in your body is going, no, it doesn't feel right to me, there's something wrong with this, then that should be cause for you to stop and look, to stop and and do some more exploration, for you to stop and honor yourself and honor your feelings regarding what was going on, what was being said. Because it's about the feelings. Because when we're being gaslit and when we're starting to experience cognitive dissonance, we feel it in our bodies. And so when you're feeling it, that's the time to address it. And so I hope that gives you some insights about these concepts. Gaslighting, which is what someone does to you, and cognitive dissonance, which is what you experience when you're being gaslit. Okay. Pretty good topic, I think. And sorry about railing. The cat was out on the porch, and I can't have them both in the house at the same time, not doing this show. Anyway, so let me do my announcements. I will go through everything and say hi to people, and then we will start doing some psychic readings. So if you would like to schedule a session with me, whether it's a medical intuition evaluation, intuitive counseling, energy medicine session, whether you want to talk to me about your relationships, whether you're experiencing trauma or having problems with emotional regulation, you know me, I will talk to you about anything except dead people. So stop by the website, drop me a line, set up a time for a session. I would love it. I would love to hang out with you guys. And while you're there, please don't forget to sign up for my newsletter, which will keep you informed of the live streams that are happening every week. Okay, so I changed this, and I'm not sure how it's going to look, and it doesn't look that great. Okay, so you can access this show and join the chat by going to Dr. Rita Louise Live on Facebook or Just Energy Radio on YouTube. That's Just Energy Radio on YouTube, and that does not look very good at all. Okay, so I'm going to undo that. But you can also watch the replays on Twitter. It's at Dr. Rita Louise. On Rumble, it's Psychic Doc. On BitChute, it's this whatever thing it is, but just look for Dr. Rita Louise and you'll find it. And always, you can get copies of my book, Dang, It Was Me All Along, or The Dysfunctional Dance of the Empath and Narcissist, or E.T. Chronicles, or Stepping Out of Eden, or Avoiding the Cosmic 2x4, or Dark Angels, or The Power Within. Or if you don't want a book and you want to learn how to be a medical intuitive or intuitive counselor or energy medicine practitioner, please go to my website, appliedenergeticsinstitute.com, and download the free 50-page Jumpstart Your Intuition Guide. It's free. It has some tools for you to use to start tapping into your intuition and intuitive nature. Okay, so let me change over. I'm going to say hi to everyone and we will get rocking. So Bradley's here. Hey, Bradley and Otto. Bobby, hey, nice seeing you. Hi, Nan, nice seeing you. Christine, hi, Christine. RLCC, how are you doing tonight? Wendy, Miss Wendy, hi. Michael, nice seeing you. Christine, I will come back and help you answer your question in a second. Bradley, James Smith. Hey, James. Joe. Hi, girl. All right, Otto. Mark Eddie, you came early. Yay. Hi, Yvonne. And hi, Denise. So there was one question above. And if you would like to get a reading, you know the drill. Say, I would like a reading, and give me a number from 1 to 3. I did a lot of work these last 2 days, so my hands are kind of sore. But a number from 1 to 3, and I will give you a reading. Okay, so Christine has a question, if I can read it tonight. If you can help me. Me and Donovan have been friends for about 10 years. He seems to have gaslighting energy. Should I close the book on this or give it a chance? So, Christine, it depends on if it is becoming a bother to you. You know, we can have friends, acquaintances, whatever, that exhibit bad behaviors. But if we keep them at a distance, if we only interact with them based on where our energy is, then they can hang around. If you find that your energy is being depleted, or you end up leaving situations with Donovan feeling bad or feeling hurt, then you really need to reevaluate what benefit you're getting out of the friendship. I mean, if it was a more romantic relationship, it's like, I'm sorry, but my phone is freaking blowing up. I don't know. If it's a more romantic relationship, then I would really question it. But you can sit there and create distance and just interact with this person on your own time and when you feel like dealing with them. And if you don't feel like dealing with them, that's okay too. Okay, so let's see. Da, 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 da. Hey, Miss Chris, how's it going? All right, so Bobby jumped to the front of the wagon and he says, I would like a reading number 3. All right, so Bobby, I need to clear these cards first because I have not shuffled them yet. You know, I should get smaller cards. And I'm like to this, thinking, God, I wish I had smaller cards. All right. Now I'm shuffling on your behalf. Okay. Okay. So this is the card that came up. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to throw this out there, Bobby. Please follow up and let me know if this is true, but it's coming through pretty strong. I mean, I get the impression, now that I'm looking at the picture, that there's an issue going on with someone, like they pissed you off, hurt your feelings, and you're not quite sure what to do with them. I feel like there's more confusion around what's going on because I feel like this is someone who's been in your life for a really long time. And so it becomes a bit more challenging to just walk away. So please let me know if I'm hitting on this friend that you're having the issue with, because I have more to say, but I have more to say if that's the case. How's that? Okay. And Yvonne says she wants a reading. And she just wants number 1 because she loves me. Thank you, Yvonne. Okay. All All right, Yvonne, let's see what the cards have to say for you today. Okay, so you got a mask card, and we've talked about these before. This usually indicates where there's an energy that you're stuck on or you don't want to look at. And I usually will go until I find a card that clears it. All right, I like that card. Okay, so I'm just feeling 3 cards today, and I'm actually going to talk about these 2, actually. And so this one, I feel like, all right, let's back up a second. So I'm kind of feeling like, kind of like Bobby, like you had a little bit of a confrontation with someone. And it might not even be a confrontation. Like I'm feeling like more like your feelings got hurt. And where you're stuck is you don't really know what you're supposed to do or you're supposed to do about it. There's some confusion around it. And then this one, so what they're saying to me, and I don't know if you've done this, is that they are recommending for you to get quiet, meditate, do some tapping, do some breathing, go take a walk in the woods, do those things that help open up your energy and make it so that you can communicate with your higher self, with source, with your inner wisdom, whatever word you want to put there, because it has an answer for you. And then when it gives you the answer, even if you don't like it, because that's the guidance that you're receiving. Let me know what you think, if that's making sense. Hi, Debbie. Okay, so Christine says she wants a reading, and number 3. All right, Christine. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Christine, this is the card that came up for you. Okay, so Christine, I get the impression that one of the things you've really been working on is being in your alignment, this alignment here. And I feel like, man, everybody's got like heart center things going on today. And I feel like you are kind of sitting outside of your alignment. And I feel like that you're sitting outside of your alignment, so then it's bothering you that you're sitting outside of alignment. So first, have it be okay that you're not in alignment. Don't beat yourself up over it, because that's just going to knock you out more. Okay. I get the impression that you're being asked to do something that you're not quite wanting to do. So I don't know, like when I get guidance like, oh, well, you need to write another book, and then I argue with them for a while and then I just do it. So I don't know if you're in that arguing with yourself stage. But I'm feeling like there's resistance going on. There's resistance in your space to doing what they want, which will put you back into alignment. I hope that makes sense. So please, feedback, everyone, feedback. I love getting feedback, because if I know that I'm on track and I'm hitting, sometimes more information will come through. It really is kind of weird sitting here talking to a camera versus a person. So feedback really does help me. All right, so Gary says, I was wondering if you could give me a number 3. It's like, I wish I had my magic 8 ball still. For years, I wanted to get a magic 8 ball. Now, you would normally think you could just go to the store and go to the aisle that got the magic 8 balls and just buy a magic 8 ball. But that's not how I was doing it. So the way I was doing it is I'd go to the store and I'd look at the magic 8 balls and I'd pick one up and go, do you want to come home with me? And if it said no, then I'd put it back. Or, I'll decide later. I'd put it back. It took a really long time for one to come up and say, like, it's decidedly so. And it was like, okay, I guess that's the one that's going to come home with me. So, but I wish I had my magic 8 ball right now. Maybe I need to get one for this show. Okay, Gary, number 3. So that was 2. And this is 3. Okay, so now I'm going to ask this question, and I would love feedback. So I've been really kind of cranky the last couple of days, like nice and me, but really kind of cranky. Has everyone been really cranky lately? Because it just seems like everyone is kind of out of sorts, and they're a bit out of alignment, and flustered, and kind of those are fighting words. Okay, so Gary, you got a mask card as well, and I am just pulling cards till it clears. Okay, I'm going to go with this one here for the clearing, but you ended up with 5 cards total. Interesting. Yeah. These readings are just kind of seeming bizarre to me. So please, you guys, feedback, because these are just seeming kind of out in left field. Okay, so Gary, what I'm feeling for you is that there is some kind of, and I'm going to say loss that you're dealing with, but I'm not getting that it's like a loss of a person per se, but a loss of something more tangible. You got let go from your job. There's something that you used to have that you don't have anymore, and there's the recollection of this thing or this time in your life. But I'm feeling like there's some sadness and there's some grief that's been coming up for you. And I guess what I want to say toward that is, and it's okay to love yourself, and maybe it's even better to love yourself just a little bit more. Stuff comes up and we can't fight it because it's just coming up. And so just acknowledging it and holding it and appreciating it that much more makes it so that we can move through that energy quicker. So Gary, if it makes sense, let me know. Okay. All right, so Christine posted that, which I don't really know what it is. So Christine, what is that? Okay, so Charlene Lewis, I have no phonics skills, so if I totally say your name wrong, sorry in advance. So I think you're a new person. So hello and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm Dr. Rita Louise. Thank you for coming. And yes, you can have a reading, and I'm going to shuffle for you number 1 right now. Okay. And this is the card that came up for you. Oh, Sharon. There's no L. See, this is one of the things about being dyslexic. You put extra letters in, kind of like speaking French, except I can't read French, like French words because there are too many letters. But then I like putting extra letters in. It's Sharon. Duh. There's no L. Hi, Sharon. Okay, let's see. It's interesting, Sharon. I feel like, and it's kind of hard for me to put this into words, but that you are like going through a rebirth. But it has a different vibration. It's not like hatching out of an egg where you're out in the air, and maybe the feeling that I'm getting is that you are in the process right now. You are in the birthing process right now. Yes, it's a phase. Yes, it will end. Yes, who you come out at the end of this process is not going to be the same person that went in the first place. So just trust what's going on. But you are moving through it. You are moving up. You are clearing that out so that eventually, you'll be able to see the light of day and the air and the sunshine. It'll all be okay. But right in this moment, you're processing. And it feels like a pretty big transformation too. So, if you've been feeling uncomfortable or things just haven't seemed right or things aren't moving forward the way you think they should, it's because you're kind of moving through a door and kind of leveling up. That's how I like to think of it. You're leveling up. So let me know if that makes sense to you. Okay, so let's see. So Bobby says, not sure. Okay, fair enough. Hey, Pierre, thanks for tuning in. So, Pierre, we have a new format. If you would like to get a reading, all you have to do is say, I would like a reading, and then pick a number from 1 to 3, because that's how many times I will shuffle the cards. And then I'll give you a reading. You don't even have to have questions these days anymore. Okay. And then Yvonne says, it absolutely makes sense. Yay. Okay, great. All right. So Otto says, reading 2, please. Okay, Otto. Hope it's okay that I just call you Otto. You got me used to it. Okay. Dang, what is it today? Okay, nobody's made a comment about like the cranky, mean crap. But guess what came up again? Bam! Another mask card. And actually, this one came up before. All right, let's see what's sitting underneath it. Okay, so Otto, I don't know what's going on with you, but you had this many cards. I probably could have kept going. And so this is not going to be a final resolution because I really didn't want to hurt your feelings by digging deeper. If you were sitting in front of me and I was doing a reading for you, I would dig deeper because I'm just that way. Okay, so this is the card, and I feel like this is going to be a partial resolution card, not necessarily a full resolution card. Okay, so this could go one of 2 ways, and I don't know you well enough, so I'm going to say it in both ways. All right, Lozinger. So the essence of what I'm feeling for you is you opening up to your spiritual guidance, your clairaudient, communicating with your guides and communicating with your higher self, and actually, I'm going to say, hearing it, owning it, accepting it, recognizing it, acting on it. So I don't know if you are already doing that and it's kind of got out of kilter, or if this is kind of a new experience for you. I'm kind of feeling like it's a new experience for you, something that you have been more actively pursuing or more actively being mindful of. Hey, maybe I'm having an effect on you. And my comment to you is to trust it. Doesn't mean you don't have to complain. It doesn't mean that you don't have to ask questions. But if it feels good And if it feels right, and if it feels congruent, then that's source and that's spirit guiding your next step and putting things in your path to help you move forward. Yeah, so that's what I got. So don't be afraid of it and don't deny it. You know, you had that mask card. Where did it go? You had that mask card, and that means there's some denial going on, but it's wanting to come through. And I feel like on some levels, you know it, like it's there, but like there's a disconnect, like you don't want to own it, or you hear it and it, am I making any sense to you? It's making sense to me. So, all right. So Yvonne says, it's a work situation that I'm trying to figure out how to proceed. I think I have to handle different than I used to. And yes, I totally agree with that. You know, my suggestion, Yvonne, you know, I feel like you're learning and you're growing, and the response needs to come from inside of you, not from your brain going, oh, well, this is what I should do, you know, but from where you're being led and where that higher level intention is directing you to go. So Bradley says he's sipping on ale and listening and not getting reading. And so Sharon, not Charlene, whatever I was saying, says it was spot on. Yay, thank you. Okay, Pierre says he would like a reading number 3. All right. All right, Pierre, bam, that's your card. Raylan. Pierre, I'm just sensing some confusion around you. I feel like there's a couple of different places that you can put your energy and you don't really know where to land. And so you're not landing anywhere. And so that's kind of perpetuating the confusion. But I'm going to add a big but to that. But when I sit there and I look at the different places potentially that you have to land, none of them seem any good. You know, all of them have some kind of issue or some bad energy, or like, you know, I don't want to go there. You know, so maybe you need to stop, take a step back, reevaluate, refocus, regroup, something, you know, and maybe shift what you're looking for, because that might bring in something closer to the vibration that you are actually seeking. Because again, when I look at the things that are out in front of you, nothing seems very good, at least not right in this moment. And when they don't seem good, then maybe you're not supposed to make a decision. So let me know if that makes sense for you. And so Yvonne says, best way to find out cranky stuff is astrologically. Yeah, but see, that would mean I would have to do work. All I know is I'm working too much, and I need to slow down, but I'm not. And, you know, and I think I've talked about my like project house, and I just put in 2 long days, and I'm just like sore and tired and cranky. So tired and cranky, but with a great smile. And where's Marco? He hasn't made like a comment about my hair. Not that it looks that great today, but really. But then Yvonne says, Mars in Aries right now makes people very feisty. Feisty is a good word. I mean, I tend to use cranky, but feisty is good. So Gary says, I do, because you are a very talented person. Own your readings with mine. Okay. I mean, Gary, I own my readings, and one of the big difference between doing a reading this way versus doing a reading with someone either in person or by phone is I can feel their energy shift. I can feel that they're getting it. I can feel that they're receiving it. Where in this forum, it's kind of a one-way ticket, which is really why I ask people for some feedback. I mean, I get what I get, and I don't really worry about that. So, but it is nice, and it's nice that other people hear how wonderful and talented I am by people like you. Okay, anyway. All right, so let's see. So we have Clay Braley. Hi, Rita, and everyone. Thanks, Rita, for your time. Well, Clay, thank you for coming to the show and being here. And if you would like a reading, if we have time, there's a question down there. And Gary says, believe. Okay, so Clay says, if you have time, I have a question. It is about a renter who is way behind on rent and common sense. They're at the point I'm about to have to out them. Okay, so Clay, I don't know that I would accept having a renter that is like way behind on their rent. I mean, there is being kind, and then there's being kind to yourself. And sometimes we just have to like have boundaries and put our foot down and do that, even if it makes us uncomfortable. I don't get the impression that these people are going to get caught up. I don't get the impression that they are in a position to make up the back rent either. I mean, unless, you can get them to start paying again, but I feel like all they'll be able to do is afford a very small amount extra on top of what they're paying at this point in time. But I feel like they just have other priorities, and and the more you sit there and enable them, the less they're going to have to pull their crap together. And so maybe you're not helping their by enabling them that way. So, and Pierre says, yes, it does. Thanks. Great, Pierre. All right. And so Ariana, the spirit medium, says, Gary McNeil, send me a friend request for your accurate reading. Well, Ariana, the spirit medium, he's here getting an accurate reading. Why bother you? So please just go away. All right, I'm not reading your shit anymore. All right, Otto says, it makes sense to me. It's complicated, but my intuition has said one thing and was being told another. I wasn't trusting my intuition. You're allowed to be cranky. Thank you, Otto. Thank you for giving me that. And you should always trust your intuition. And sometimes sometimes it can be a little confusing being able to separate out, this is my intuition versus this is my ego, and so if you feel pretty certain that it's your intuition, then always trust that. And if you are being told something else, you are being gaslit. Damn it. No, you're suffering from cognitive dissonance. And if you don't know what that is and you missed the beginning of the show, that was our topics: gaslighting and cognitive dissonance. Okay, so hi, Annette. You look like a new face here too. Welcome. And yes, you can get a reading. And since you didn't give a number, I'm getting 2. So I'm going to shuffle 2 times for you and we'll pull a card. And again, if you'd like to get a longer reading from me, a more specific reading, especially if you have issues going on in your life, stop on my webpage, soulhealer.com, and get a reading. Okay, so Annette, this is your card. So Annette, I get the impression that you, and I'm going to say it this way, and that life seems better now. I feel like you were in a situation, and please excuse my French, but it was kind of a shit show. And you have escaped from that. And so even though things aren't perfect, it's kind of like, I feel like you can finally breathe. I feel like there's room for you to move around. There's room for you to be, whatever that is, but there's room for you. And I feel like all of those things that were part of you that you had shut down because of this other situation or other person or whatever, are coming back online. But I just feel this uplifted energy coming from you that, minimally, please say thank you to the universe for giving you that. Okay. Clay says, I like cantankerous. Well, Clay, I'm really kind of a smartass, and I've been told a troublemaker, although I really am not. But when I get cranky, I get kind of like, yeah, I don't particularly care for it. Okay, let's see. Annette says lots of trolls. It's just one troll, but they seem to come and hit this thing, and then they cycle through everybody in the room. So just ignore them. They're just a bot. I've tried giving these things a reading, and there's not anything there. Okay. Okay, so Clay says, I'm a bit too nice. He says, okay, way too nice. Veronica, hey, Veronica, just to let you know, Marco's not here. So, and there's Marco. Okay, you guys, what have you been doing? You've been like hiding in the background, like not saying hi. That was very convenient. Okay. Annette says, how do people think they can live for free? There are people that think they can live for free. I mean, it's just weird that way. All right, so Sharon says, thank you, Dr. Rita. I have to go, but have enjoyed your show. Well, Sharon, I hope you come back again down the road. And Clay says, thank you, so much, Dr. or Rita Louise. Thank you. And Christine says, yes, that makes sense. I'm trying to stay in alignment. It's hard. I'm being asked to do something. I'm just not sure if it's me moving or me giving Donovan a chance. Christine, ask the universe to give you a sign, to show you clearer what you should do, because usually when we do that, the person will do something stupid. I mean, not necessarily to you, but they'll get in an argument with somebody else, and you can kind of see them from a different light. Or they might do something very kind and very loving, and you see them from a different light. But ask the universe to help clarify the situation, to help you make a decision. And since they're just a friend person, one of the things that I tell people, it's okay to put people in purgatory. It's okay to put them over there, on a shelf, and you interact with them and you maybe talk to them, but you have a certain level of separated emotional energy so that you can be in observation mode with them. So do that. Try that. Okay. Hi, Annette. Thanks for coming to the show. I really appreciate you being here and being a first-time listener. I'm looking at the clock. There's 10 minutes. If you would like a reading, let me know. Just say, I would like a reading at a number 1 through 3. It's getting close to time, but if you would like one, do that now. And so Annette says, things have been really hard lately. And that, yeah, no kidding. The planet has just been like whirling around. And I think there's a lot of us that are just hanging on. Like, remember that? All right, I remember this ride where, it was the round thing and everybody would like push on the metal bar and then you would jump on and it would go around in the circle and you would try not to puke. It feels like that, like you're hanging onto the bar, but it just wants to throw you off the side. So thank you, Gary. So the bot was asking him something else. He said, no, I got a good reading already. All right. So Veronica says, I would like a reading number 2. Okay. All right, Veronica, I'm going to come back. So this Dawn. Hey, Dawn. Hi, it's Dawn. Is this your live show? No, Dawn, it's not my live show. It's a pre-record that I'm talking to you in real time and having Raylan bark in the background. Raylan, just quit it. Okay, Veronica said 2. There's a new dog in the neighborhood. Raylan, there's a new dog next door that barks, which makes him bark. And hey, come right here. Come right here. Okay, so Veronica, this is your card. Come on, up. Come on. Come on, up. Or not. Veronica, very interesting. Very good. I want to validate you. I feel like I'm not really sure what the impetus of this is, other than you're just kind of sick and tired of crap. But I feel like you kind of backed off your energy from everybody else and everything else that's going on around you. And you're just kind of holding your space for you with this kind of like, screw all of you energy. I don't want you affecting me, which I think for you is an excellent shift. So let me know if that makes sense. So I just want to validate that. So if that's what you're experiencing, I mean, that's what I'm sensing. Yay. Okay. And Annette says, not yet, but this gives me hope for the future. Okay, great, Annette. So Veronica says, nah, Dr. Rita, you're not snarky. Well, you didn't see me when the cat was like driving me crazy. All right, Denise says, I have to leave. Great show. Thanks, Denise. You have a great night. All right, I'm just kind of scrolling through. Raylan, come right here. Come on. Up. There you go. All right, so Raylan's in the driver's seat. All right. Okay, so RLCC says he would like a reading. Where are we? Okay, and then Dawn says he would like a reading. And I'm going to say those are probably the last 2 that I'm going to do for the day. Okay. It's interesting. I mean, I shuffled these cards up pretty good, and it seems like the same cards keep coming up. All right, RLCC, this is your card. Interesting. Okay, so have you noticed that you have been more comfortable in communicating what you think and what you want or what you need, like having what's going on the inside actually be communicated to what's going on the outside? I get the impression that there would be a lot of stuff that would happen and you you just wouldn't say anything about it. And I feel like that dynamic is changing, that you're taking the impetus to make that change happen and that shift happen. So yay, because I feel like you will be happier, instead of holding on to all of that energy yourself and not, there's the communication part, but then there's just not being the vessel. People do stuff, and if you don't say or do something about it in the setting, you become the vessel and you become the victim. And I feel like this dynamic is moving you out of that vessel mode and more into getting your power back. So yay. Okay. And then Don says he would like a reading. So let's see, Don. I'm going to give these a little bit better of a mix. All right. Let's see, Don. Let me just clear them. And then I will do you. And RLCC, let me know if that makes sense to you. All right, Don. Okay, and that's the card that came up for you. Dawn, it's interesting, and please forgive me for just saying this and being a little blunt about it. I feel like you're tired of feeling like you're at the back end and all of this stuff is happening to you, and you just have to be like the victim or subject to this stuff that's happening to you and happening around you. And I feel like that sickness, I don't mean like physically sick, but just like tired of it, energy will usually drive us into doing something different. And so be open when situations come up, when things happen. Be open to doing something different, to being open to receiving the guidance of, well, maybe you should try this, even if it's something you haven't done in the past, because that's what will shift that energy from being kind of a victim into, again, taking your power back. Kind of same idea, two people. Okay, where are we? Oh, it is time. Okay, Veronica says Raylan is cranky. All right, Raylan says, wait, I'm going to say hi to everybody before Mama goes. Say hi, everybody. Hi. Okay, so that's it for today. So again, if you would like to schedule a private consultation with me, please visit my webpage, soulhealer.com. We can talk about whatever you like, help you sort out life, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. I got answers for you, except for dead people. And while you're there, please don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. And I'm not going to do the rest of this stuff because it's all kind of messed up. Anyway, till next week, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is this is Thursday Night Live. Till next week, be blessed.